it's not always about your job role. It's about you as an individual.
Young people do that because they want to see how far their social is willing to go.
We have to help these young people prepare for real life.
You know what? There's more to us than just kicking a football and just rapping.
Yeah.
As a black man, I can be educated. What are you saying, people? It's another episode of The Social Worker and the Mentor. You're probably thinking, where's Rob? Don't worry, look, he's coming. But you know what? We're doing something a bit more different. We want to just switch it up. Before I introduce myself, listen, have you guys done it yet? Yeah? You should see it right now. Right now, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube. You like, subscribe, and share. We keep telling you guys, it's free, yeah? Like, subscribe, and share. So anyway, we got a 4-episode special coming up here, but I want to introduce the lady opposite me. Introduce yourself, please.
Okay, so my name's Pauline Chambers. I am the founder and managing director of Supply Care Solutions. We are a specialist recruitment business. We supply to the local authorities across the whole of the country, and we also supply to the NHS. So in this context, we're going to talk about social work and social work recruitment.
Pauline, clap for yourself. Thank you. Do you know what, Pauline? You're the first recruitment agency we've got, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, literally. And I thought it'd be so good because I'm a social worker and, I've in my kind of that 10-year career, I've been permanent, I've been agency, and it's kind of good to kind of speak to you because a lot of social workers, when they're at that kind of interchange in terms of recruitment agencies, I think some are not really kind of too sure what to expect.
Yes.
So tell us about what you do, your interaction with social workers and local authorities, where right now at the moment, the turnover is absolutely massive.
Yeah, I mean, we've been established since 2004, so we're 20 years in this industry. It's changed a lot. The legislation has changed. I think for our sort of approach to it all, we want to try and change the perception of a recruitment agency.
Right.
And we want to get a little bit more connected with the professionals themselves and work in partnership a little bit more. So obviously there is a gap in the market. The sector itself is short-staffed. There's a lot of turnover. I did a dissertation for psychology that touched on social work turnover, particularly for frontline children's services. And I think it's important as an agency not just to be perceived as a vehicle that just shunts social workers into jobs and does all of that,
because that's a perception,
that is a perception.
Yeah, it is.
And I think we've got to change that. We've got to kind of form partnerships with people like yourselves, Nana.
Yeah, thank you, Pauline. Thank you. We're talking for months, guys. Listen, for months we're talking, so
Absolutely.
I'm glad Pauline's here.
And really kind of understand the profession a little bit deeper, as well as obviously, promoting what we do and how we can help people. And I think that way we can work a little bit more in partnership with both the social workers themselves and the local authorities.
What are you finding, Pauline? Because obviously it's not just social workers that come to you, but other professionals. But what are you finding are the differences? Is there more of an uptake with social workers signing up to the agency, or is it more healthcare professionals, or is it more education? What is the data?
Yeah, so the healthcare market has really changed over the last 18 months or so. So we're seeing a bit of a cap on the amount of jobs that are cascaded to agency.
Right.
And I think that's a general trend in the marketplace. I think that the trusts have formed their own banks and they're trying to encourage people to go permanent, okay?
Yeah.
Which, obviously we can't comment as to whether that's working or not, but we're actually seeing that trend. So we're getting a lot of healthcare professionals coming to us looking for work that aren't also necessarily getting that work through the banks, where they're being encouraged by the trusts to go permanent. On the social work side, huge vacancies. So if we've got a qualified social worker that's, completed their ASYE in particular, that, wants to do work, then we are finding that we can place them very easily because there's a massive shortage in the profession. So obviously we work with those social workers and team managers and the teams, etc., to try and, kind of make that process a little bit easier for everyone concerned.
What are the difficulties, Pauline, you would say, as a recruitment agency, that you have with local authorities? Because one of the things that I always hear sometimes is that at times the communication between agents and the local authorities are not always as great. But what are the barriers that...
I think the barriers are that, we touched on before, people have this perception of agencies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you go in a bit deeper,
Well, we're not all the same. Okay. And, the people have a perception that we make a fortune. We're capitalising on the shortages.
Yes.
We are the kind of estate agents of the social work world.
Could you say that again? Do you know what? I think that's the best way to crystallize. Say that again for me, please.
We are the estate agents of the social work world. And I think companies like ours, we need to kind of get a little bit more involved and do sort of things like this and talk to the professionals themselves and improve that perception. And obviously, we don't make loads and loads of money.
But that's what people think, though.
No, we
people think that agents are cash cows.
No. So the rates are capped.
Yes.
There's new legislation coming in.
There is.
That cap the rates even further, which actually... controversially, I agree with. We can't have this spiralling costs to local authorities. But ourselves, as, the kind of business in the middle, we honestly, I can vouch, we don't make a lot of money, okay? We're there to provide a service.
Yeah.
We've got obligations for the compliance and safeguarding, which, the guys will talk about in a later episode. So there's a lot of... responsibility that we have to ensure that we are providing a professional service. I think from our point of view, we kind of want to capture professionals that are looking to have some guidance in terms of, finding themselves
and how to navigate
and give advice as to, how we can best prepare them for the marketplace itself, prepare their CVs, what the expectations are. We also don't speak to the end clients directly. There's a lot of kind of bureaucracy there, which is fine. That's the way the market is. But we're not there making a fortune, pulling people out of jobs, putting them into new jobs. It's an absolute myth.
But there's one thing, Pauline, I do want to ask, and you don't have to answer this question. But do you know one thing that I do find is that sometimes agencies really battle for candidates.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
We have to go through a process where we have to gain the candidate's right to represent. Okay.
And what does that mean?
Well, basically, that
I know what it means, but for the viewers,
we're not just putting them forward for jobs because we've picked their CV from a CV job board. Okay.
Yeah.
We have to do our own qualification of their suitability to work. We've got to do all the background checking, etc. It has it has been a competitive market. I'm not here to kind of promote us. Well, I am, but obviously from our point of view, we are smaller. We're dealing with a smaller number of people. We've got like a kind of dedicated team, and anybody that kind of deals with anyone within the company, we know who they are, and we will always ensure that we kind of build those relationships with people. We gain their right to represent, and we do it all properly. And we are into building relationships with our candidates and our candidates to represent us as an agency.
That's right.
So hence, we're kind of committed to doing what we're doing today and getting involved a little bit more with kind of, the sponsorship of specific organisations, etc. So we can A, raise our profile, of course.
Yeah.
We're a commercial business, but B, get to know our professions a little bit better.
And I think it's good to have you on because, myself and Rob and other social workers have spoken about agencies, but actually it's good to kind of hear it from the horse's mouth to get a full context of it in terms of what the market is like, but actually the perceptions that we as social workers have, you also have as well.
Yeah. But I do think if you find a good agency and you build those relationships, then those perceptions will be kind of, put into the reality of the situation. It's all about relationships. Agencies exist because there is a gap in the market. There are, shortages, and a lot of candidates, don't know how to navigate, how,
Yeah.
things like flexible working and just kind of representing themselves directly with the local authorities. And that's why agencies are here. But we are really trying to adjust the perception of what agencies do and put ourselves in a better light, so to speak. And we offer a range of professional services, and we've got good reviews.
Before we close the episodes, it's a short one. What advice would you give to anybody, social worker, mentor, teacher, entering, who's going to join the agency? Just give one piece of advice.
Check out the website, look at the reviews, ring the agency, have a real conversation with somebody within the agency.
Yeah.
Make sure they call you back. Make sure they know who you are when you call up as well. Really important. You don't want to be passed from pillar to post and people are kind of asking you the same questions again and again when you've had a half an hour conversation
That's right.
with somebody yesterday.
Yeah.
You build that rapport and make sure that agency understands what your needs are, remembers who you are, and are acting, in your best interest, so to speak, to represent you in the jobs market.
Guys, you heard it from the horse's mouth, You literally heard that. One thing that Pauline has just said, make sure the needs of you fall in line with the agency you're going to be joining and ask those questions. Yeah, ask the questions. Flexible working, Pauline has said it. Pauline, I want to thank you very much for coming on.
Thank
for
you.
the episode
Thank you
today.
for having us.
Thank you very much. Where can anybody find you? If any social worker wants to look you up, where can they find you?
Our website, www.supplycaresolutions.co.uk. We're on Instagram. You can get to know the team. It's a really diverse team as well. We're on Facebook. We're on the social media. I'm not so great with the social media. I'm not going to try and wing it, but we're on all of the kind of platforms. And I think the way that we represent ourselves speak for itself. We are very, very much committed to, charities and just giving back, really. We're not one of these agencies that has a perception that we party on boats and stuff like that. We just don't, okay? We are very, very committed to the profession.
Nah, thank you very much,
You're
Pauline. So,
welcome.
guys, you know what to do. You like, subscribe, and share. And I really, really hope you take note of what Pauline has said for any social worker or professional who's going to be entering into the agency market. So, guys, we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.